Throughout the history of the world, people have stretched the boundaries of what is possible with the tools and materials at their disposal. The end product of this insatiable curiosity and commitment is impressive buildings and infrastructures, which can be found all over the world. Humans have constructed massive infrastructures, projects, and temples spanning centuries, all the way up to the present day. The population of Africa is exploding, and by the United Nations projection, the continent will see its current population of 1.3 billion double by the year 2050. That's an expected growth of 42 million people, basically a brand new Argentina, every year. Work is currently underway on some of the biggest and most expensive construction projects ever completed in Africa as the continent builds key infrastructure to support its fast-growing population. The amount invested in creating some of the most iconic structures in Africa is eye-watering. Our video today will give a rundown of the 7 most expensive ongoing infrastructure investment projects in Africa, which involves more than $10 billion investment. As always, make sure to give the video a like and also subscribe to our channel if you are new here. Let us know in the comments which of the project you find exciting. Number 7. Tangier Tech City. The Mohammed VI Tangier Tech City, a joint project of the Moroccan and Chinese governments, is one of the most expensive recent projects to be launched in Africa. The project was first announced in 2016 during Morocco's King Mohammed VI's visit to Beijing, when the two countries signed important agreements, including the relaxation of visa restrictions for Chinese citizens in order to boost tourism to the North African country. Amid mounting enthusiasm, disputes over shareholdings of the new giant smart city deferred project launch due to the withdrawal of the project's main Chinese sponsor, Haidt Group. Nonetheless, given the project's importance, it was restarted in April 2019 during the Belt and Road Forum in Beijing, when Moroccan BMCE Bank negotiated a deal with the other two major Chinese developers, the state-owned China Communications Construction Company and China Road and Bridge Corporation. According to Ilyas El-Amari, president of the Tangier Tedouin Al-Husseima region, the estimated $10 billion Tangier Tech City, with its massive dimensions of 2,000 hectares total, has been scheduled for construction in stages for a 10-year period, although the construction of the main infrastructures to strengthen the connection between the Tech City and Tangier Med Port began in 2019. The city will be built in 3 phases, each encompassing up to 700 hectares of the total 2,000 hectares. Work on connecting the city to roads, electricity, water, and rail has already begun. The new smart city is anticipated to house 200 Chinese firms involved in the food, automotive, aerospace, renewable energy, and textile industries, which will create merchandise for exports to African and European market economies, benefiting from Morocco's free trade agreement with Europe and the United States, and eventually avoiding tariffs that would otherwise be imposed on Chinese products. Number 6. Lagos-Calabar Railway. Lagos-Calabar Railway Line, which is also known as the West-East Coastal Rail Line, is a rail infrastructure project that is planned for development in Nigeria to link Lagos, the largest city of the West African Republic, to Calabar, a port city in the southeast region, near the border with the neighboring Republic of Cameroon. The project entails the construction of 1,402 kilometers of the railway line, as well as railway platforms, 22 railway stations with ancillary facilities, administrative space, and level crossings. Other tasks include installing safety, electrical, lighting, and signaling systems, as well as laying tracks and power lines. The project is planned to be implemented in 2 phases. The first phase will run between Calabar and Port Harcourt, while the second phase will run between Port Harcourt and Lagos through Onitsha. In July last year, the Federal Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Mechi, revealed that the London-based Standard Chartered Bank had agreed to fund the construction of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Rail with $11 billion out of the $14.4 billion needed for the implementation of the project. In August last year, the Federal Executive Council approved the ratification of the award of a contract worth $11 billion for the implementation of the project. The project is expected to be completed within 6 years, once it takes off. Number 5. Konza Technology City. Kenya has embarked on construction of a $14.5 billion technology city in Machakos County in a bid to attract technology talents and investors to drive its economic growth. Konza City, which is located 64 kilometers south of the capital Nairobi, is modeled around the US Silicon Valley, hence the nickname African Silicon Savannah. The smart city targets business process outsourcing, software development, data centers, disaster recovery centers, call centers, light manufacturing industries, and research institutions. Progress has been made on road construction, the utility corridor, and the installation of a water reclamation system, among others. The Konza City project has so far attracted several wealthy investors, including a leading Korean university, although the slow pace of the project is raising concerns among its key stakeholders. Konza Technology City project is at its pivotal flagship brand in Kenya's Vision 2030 economic development portfolio. It is expected to be a world-class city with a thriving digital economy, innovative dependable infrastructure, and business-friendly governance systems, and will also be home to a vibrant mix of businesses, workers, residents, and urban amenities. According to the official website of Konza Technology, over $800 million has been invested in the project so far. Number 4. Dangote Oil Refinery. Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, is building a huge oil refinery in Lekki Free Zone on the outskirts of Lagos. With a capacity to process 650,000 barrels of crude a day, Dangote Oil Refinery will be one of the world's biggest oil refineries when it begins operations in 2022. According to a recent report by Reuters, the refinery has been delayed by several years, and the cost has ballooned to $19 billion from Dangote's earlier estimates of $14 billion. The refinery, which is expected to generate 9,500 direct and 25,000 indirect jobs, will produce Euro V quality gasoline and diesel, as well as jet fuel and polypropylene. Fashioned with a 50 million liter capacity of gasoline and 15 million liters capacity of diesel per day, the facility possesses processing structures such as a crude distillation unit and associated facilities, a mild hydrocracking unit, a residual fluid catalytic cracking unit, a naphtha hydro treater, gasoline hydrodesulfurization unit, and alkylation units. The refinery includes infrastructure such as a pipeline system, access roads, tank storage facilities, and crude and product handling facilities, as well as expansions for a marine terminal with a breakwater, jetty, and harbor, as well as administrative buildings, guardhouses, fire stations, and pump stations. Nigeria's proven oil resources are estimated to be around 37 billion barrels, making it Africa's second-largest reserve. The absence of adequate and reliable domestic refining capacity, however, has left the nation leaning heavily on the importation of a majority of its refined products. The new refinery should double Nigeria's refining capacity and help meet the country's growing fuel demand while perhaps enhancing revenue. Number 3. Great Man-Made River Libya. The Libyan Great Man-Made River project is a $36 billion, 4,000-kilometer pre-stressed concrete cylinder pipeline project that includes well fields, pump stations, water treatment facilities, and storage reservoirs, with the goal of delivering over 6.5 million tons of water daily to Libya's agricultural, industrial, and municipal areas. The world's largest irrigation project is partially completed network of pipes that currently supply drinking water from desert aquifers to the country's coastal cities. The brainchild of the project is the deposed dictator Muammar Gaddafi, who described the megaproject as the eighth wonder of the world. The network was damaged by NATO airstrikes in 2011, with the ensuing civil war further delaying construction of the final phases. So far, the project has cost more than $36 billion since its inception in 1983. Number 2. New Alamein City. The Egyptian nation's relentlessness towards national development has contributed to yet another masterpiece of construction design, the New Alamein City. The unique megacity is nestled in the north coast region of the nation, within the administrative borders of Marsa Matrao Governorate, with specifications tailored to meet the high standards of a modern smart city. New Alamein lies on the Mediterranean Sea, approximately 85 kilometers west of Borg El Arab International Airport. Still under construction, New Alamein was conceived by the Egyptian government as a center for tourism, education, and government. The city has its own presidential palace and ministry building. Construction is ongoing at New Alamein for 3 universities, 30 skyscrapers and high-rise towers, which will have over 30,000 hotel rooms. Work has begun on Phase 2 of the New Alamein megaproject, which includes 10 additional coastal towers. New Alamein city expends a whopping 50,000 acres, designed to envelope a population of over 3 million, even as it stretches 60 kilometers across the southern coastline. The construction stage is subdivided into multiple phases, with the first phase categorized into 2 sections, each covering 8,000 acres and housing 400,000 people. The new city, which will cost an estimated $50 billion, is expected to position Egypt as a premier regional investment, tourism, and business destination. The vision is consistent with the country's commitment to achieving overarching development and ensuring the city's long-term viability. Number 1. New capital of Egypt. First on our list is Egypt once again, with its new administrative capital being built about 45 kilometers east of Cairo on a swath of desert the size of Singapore. The new capital's construction began 6 years ago at an estimated cost of at least $60 billion. It's part of Egypt's rapidly growing economy, which has seen the country build a dozen new cities, thousands of kilometers of new roads, mega housing projects, and converting of desert to farmland. The new administrative capital, which will eventually house embassies, government agencies, parliament, 30 ministries, a spiraling presidential compound, and 6.5 million people, is deemed a necessity. It appears that it will not only relocate administrative buildings from Cairo, but will also provide much-needed housing. The first phase is expected to cost $60 billion and largely funded by the Egyptian government. The meticulously planned solar-powered city will wow with gleaming skyscrapers, the world's second-largest mega-mosque, a stunning green space twice the size of New York's Central Park, and a theme park 4 times bigger than Disneyland. The construction of the mega project began in 2015 and is being completed in 3 phases, the first of which is expected to be completed this year. The project is expected to be fully completed by 2050 at a cost of $250 million, making it undoubtedly one of the most expensive and ambitious mega project in Africa's history. With all the excitement around the project, it hasn't been without controversy, with some querying why the government hasn't used the money to deal with the infrastructure problems that Cairo faces instead. So there you have it. Those are some of the most expensive ongoing infrastructure investment projects in Africa, which involves more than $10 billion investment. Let us know in the comments which of the project you find exciting. If you enjoyed this video and want more definitive information about exciting trends in Africa, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our new channel, The New Africa Daily, your ultimate guide to staying informed on the latest and trending topics, facts, politics and more in Africa, within minutes.